In part 7 of our Shelf Unit Inventor project, we're going to look at creating a cutting list or a parts list. The reason for doing this would be to show clearly all the individual parts that we require if we were going to construct this in a workshop. So this is showing the quantity. So for example, we've got 2 shelf unit tops, material, and the lengths and thickness that we have. So I have a assembly drawing which has been laid out, and along the bottom here we're going to add a cutting list or a parts list which shows the different components which are required to construct this shelf unit. So if I go into Inventor, I have the shelf unit open. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the annotate button, and there is a function called parts list which helps us to automatically create some of our cutting list or parts list table. You could do this manually as well by drawing a sketch and drawing the lines and adding in the text as well. That would be another method of doing this. So I'm going to select my shelf unit assembly. I'm going to hit OK on that. Now I want this down the bottom here, so click on there, zoom in a little bit. You can see that I've got quite a long way in creating what I need here, because we've got our table laid out and we've got our naming of our different components. So if you remember, when we're building our individual components, I suggested that it was very useful to name these sensibly. So for example, if I go back to this, I've got my shelf unit side, my shelf unit top. So the individual components or files are named sensibly, and now what this has done is it's looked at that assembly file and it has said we have 2 of these shelf unit side components, and it's created those lists for us. We could go and type that in manually if we didn't name it correctly, but obviously that's going to take more time. So the next thing is I just want to finish off my cutting list or parts list. If I right click on there, I can go edit parts list and it brings up the table I'm looking for. So if I right click here on the top where it says description, I can go to column chooser. So this allows me to add the titles at the top of the columns. So for example, I don't want that description, but what I would like to add in instead is material. So I'll add that, and also I will add in some of my own ones. So I'm going to click on new property there. I'm going to put in length. I must have created that already, so I've already got that there. I can add that one in. But width, so that is there already. And what else do we need? Thickness. Thickness is there. Now these ones here, I added these in already. These don't come in the standard list. You need to type them in by adding a new property. So I add that in as well. So I know it's got OK. Now I have my table. So I'm just going to try adjusting this slightly so that I have enough room for the words I'm going to put in here. Okay. So now I need to input my information. So I've got my shelf unit top, so I'm going to suggest that is made of pine. Same with the sides, it could be plywood or some other kind of wood. And now I can put in, so I've got my acrylic shelf, so that is going to be made of acrylic. And this is going to be made of of galvanized steel, and I can input my length. So no, that one's 250, that's 70, and it's 12 thick. This one here is 150, same width. Now acrylic is 234 long, it's also 70 wide, and it's 3mm thick. So the galvanized steel is 1.2mm, so I need to click in there. So now if I double check that, I've got my top shelf, pine, this all looks okay, so I can hit apply. And OK. So now I have added a parts list or a cutting list to my leave that as it is, to my sheet. So if I go ahead and save this, and also if I export this as a PDF, then I'll get to see what it looks like. No, do like that. Let's do that again. Because I have it open. Export PDF. And now we have our final sheet. So in this one here we have our assembly showing our unit complete or together. It gives got a isometric shaded view that shows the different materials there, and down here I have my parts or cut list which shows the quantity. So I've got 2 shelf unit tops required. Made of pine, it gives me the length and thickness etc. that I require to make this. So this will be all ready to be cut up for my parts, ready to manufacture and construct this in a workshop.